Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth for another episode of Final Fantasy X-2 HD. Today's episode we are going to be going over via Infinito, the 100 floor dungeon in Bevelle that can be accessed in Chapter 5. Just to start off, I'm going to be talking about each of the bosses, which occur at levels 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100, the strategies I used. There are a lot more strategies against the later bosses, mostly involving using monsters that you've caught in the arena. My strategy, I wanted to just keep the Yuna Riku Pain Party, mostly using Mascot or whatever I needed to use. When we get to each boss, I guess I'll just talk about the general thing. Beforehand, just going through via Infinito, each floor is randomly generated from a pool that can be that changes every 20 floors. You just have to get to the end and jump down to the next floor. You have these shining spots over here, which you can go to the entrance. The nice thing is that you can go to the entrance and then return right back to the floor that you stopped at. So if you stopped at floor 14, and you take the warp over there, you will go back to floor 14. So you can ostensibly just keep exiting, saving, exiting, saving, exiting, saving. It's really nice, not like some games that you could do the entire thing at once. The enemies also get harder every 20 floors. They start introducing extra monsters. Some of the bosses from earlier floors start appearing in the later ones. I ended up just running at almost every encounter on level 80. Also, there's like big dragons you can find. Large tonberries, don't run into them because you cannot run away from them, and you will not be able to beat them most of the time, especially the mega tonberries. The little tonberries are really easy to beat, even at the lower stages. They never get harder. Some of them are required for getting to the next stage, or getting to the end of the stage, but yeah, you just figure out how to get through each one, pretty much. So on to floor 20. Okay, so floor 20 over here, we actually showed this earlier in the Let's Play.
Maester Keenock.
Yeah, we got Keenock.
He's unsent?
And of course he turns into a monster. So the soul of Maester Keenock is an enemy called Aranea, which has 18,280 health. Honestly, like, I'm using Gambler over here. I don't think I'm even in the 80s, but I just hold A down and kill it. It's really easy at this point. The first 40 floors are a joke. But yeah, no weaknesses. It can drop Mithril Bagel. You can steal a Turbo Ether or Kinesis badge from it.
The wandering unsent.
You think there are more in here?
Probably.
I think we should go home now.
Let's ease their pain. You're going?
Mm-hmm. I knew it.
And the reward for this is Crimson Sphere 8, which is probably the last Crimson Sphere that you need to find in the game in order to go to the Den of Woe. But yeah, really simple. There's really not much strategy. At the point in the game that you're able to access this, you shouldn't have any problem just holding down the X button and killing it. But the next stage, or the next one, is 40. So I don't think I've shown this one yet. But on floor 40, it's Maester Jiskel, Seymour's father, which is kind of interesting. And he turns into the Black Elemental, which has 9,999 health, no weaknesses, It can cast Flare on you, I think, but also honestly it's just a joke at the point that you get to it. As you can see, it did do a bit of damage to Uni there. I was not prepared for it. But if you have Mascot, which you should at this point, because you've gotten that last sphere there. But if you have Mascot, then Pain's Cactar stuff is probably just going to destroy it. Moogle Beam will probably destroy it also. Let's see. It can drop Tetra Gloves or Monotonic. You can steal a Rune Bracer or an Ether from it. It has super high defense, so magic is probably the way to go. But I think it might have Reflect on it as well. But, this and the Aranea both start showing up after this, like from floors 40 onward. And yeah, that one-shotted it. The next enemy... Where's the next one? Oh, right. Yeah, so once you beat floor 40, you get a chest here with a Moon Bracer, which is Berserk, a Shining Bracer, which is Reflect, I think, a Speed Bracer, which is Haste, and a Recovery Bracer, which is Regen, and Catnip, which when your HP is critical, you deal 9,999 damage, get Berserk, and Slow on yourself. So, very cool stuff. The Catnip used to be, in the non-international HD versions, the Catnip was a way to kill all the super bosses paired with the Gunner's Trigger Happy. Anyway, floor 60 is where it gets tough. Oof. So we have Maester Micah over here. Ugh, Maester Micah. Yeah, remember we never actually sent him, but he turns into this thing. You remember this guy from Final Fantasy X? He was one of the arena monsters, and that was the first point in the game where you had to really start grinding. But the Concherer, or whatever, however you pronounce it, this guy is Concherer, yeah. Has 343,280 health, so yeah, actually, I skipped a little bit. I'm not showing the whole battle here because I took this the stupid way, but this guy is really difficult. Super high defense. He has an attack called Megaton Press, which is pretty much an insta-kill. It does 31,000 damage to my party members here. You can use like a stamina spring or stamina tonic to double your health, but even then, not great. Essentially what I did is just I used Yuna and Riku to keep everybody alive, and Pain just kept on using Cactar, her Cactar Cactling gun, because she has the Ragnarok accessory on, which means that she doesn't have any, it doesn't use up any MP. Now, I'm stupid because I was going through this, again, 343,000 health. This is the point. This is skipping about 10 minutes of doing this. I realized towards the end of this that I had the Garment Grid, that if you go through all of the little portals, you get break damage limit. So I didn't have to keep doing 9,999, I could do more than that. But again, did not realize it. A good combination also that I don't use here, which I'm going to be using on later bosses, is with Pain specifically and Mascot, using her Samurai skill of Non-Parel, or however you pronounce it, which raises her attack. Use that 5 times, and then start using Cactling Gun. After going through all of the gates to get the break damage limit, so that she ends up doing somewhere around 99,999 damage, and makes this fight a lot faster. It was actually fast enough that I had to record that beginning part separately, because the PlayStation 5's 15-minute video clip thing that I was using since I didn't have my capture card plugged in, actually picked it up halfway through the battle. The battle took like 25 minutes. It was terrible. But yeah, this guy killed me a lot before I leveled up a bit to try to, you know, get going over here. As you can see, like, he almost killed me right here. Even attacking one party member at a time, it's still different. It still does a lot. He also does regular attacks. He has this weird gunk shot thing, but thankfully he doesn't seem to target everyone at once. Otherwise, you'd be sunk. But yeah, Megaton Press is unblockable and it just kills you. Yeah, we'll get into strategies with Cackling Gun also for the later bosses. But, you know, while we're going here, the next boss actually requires a lot more preparation. And that preparation is getting all three of your characters in the Berserker class, surprisingly. Getting them so that they all have evade and counter. Because that is one of the only ways you're getting through that fight, and we'll see that in a moment.
He's not here. Who? Trema.
Who's that?
Trema is the founder of New Yevon. He kept all of the spheres from Spearer's past to himself and then vanished without a trace. Who'd have thought he'd crawl down here?
But that was a year ago. So he's probably already...
dead? Maybe he was from the start.
Yeah, there's a lot of
They
unsent
say
in the
he was
Yevon
able to
hierarchy.
control the most powerful of fiends.
Which is why I really think we should go home now.
Okay, but yeah, that's it. That's it for that boss. The next one, though, gave me the most trouble out of all of them. Again, I tried to do strategies that kept the mascot dress sphere. Not a good idea. But anyway, make sure you have softs at the top there, because this enemy will be able to petrify you even through ribbons and then destroy you almost immediately. You want to also have mana springs. That's the essential thing to have, because if you don't drain this enemy's MP immediately, it will use an attack that will petrify your entire party at once. So yeah, your first bunch of turns, as you're going to see shortly, your first bunch of turns are going to be draining its MP. For the love of God, drain its MP. But again, the class you want to have is 3 Berserkers with evade and counter, because it's going to rely on trying to attack you physically. But it's Zeon and Unalaska. I actually remember Zeon's name when I was playing this. I was so proud of myself, because like every other time I'm like, who's the bozo that Unalaska sacrificed? It was Lord Zeon. I mean, it's a basilisk enemy called Chac, or Chac, or something, C-H-A-C. Chac has 437,850 health. Oh my god. Drops pixie dust or a shining gem, and you can steal ethers from it. As you can see, it just turns you to stone. And when you're turned to stone, you can't evade encounter, so it will just go after you. But yeah, just keep using those softs, keep using those mana springs. That was really close. Yuna almost shattered there. Man, there's the counter. So, one strategy for this enemy is also to actually fight a whole bunch of... the Heaven's Cataract right there. That was the thing that turns your whole party to stone. So if it almost used it, but it didn't have enough mana. So we're golden from here on out. Now that it can't do that, and I was like, oh, okay, good, we're good, right? And no, it still can use Stony Glare because that doesn't use mana. That's just a regular attack. So again. Some people try to get it oversold, which you can fight a bunch of basilisk enemies in the monster arena or whatever until you find an oversoul one, then run away, and then go to this battle and it'll be oversold. And the oversold version has a little bit more health, but a different way of fighting. And I think it uses Heaven's Cataract less or something, but I didn't do that here because this strategy worked out for me. But yeah, so it has two things that it can do right now. It can use Stony Glare, or it can use a physical attack, and the physical attacks will never hit us. Unfortunately, if it hits you right after using Stony Glare, you die. So we just lost Yuna for the rest of the battle. Heaven's Cataract it'll sometimes use as, you know, something that it just can't do. But yeah, it also gets Pain over here. And something weird happens, once it kills those two, it stops using Stony Glare. So I was like, oh god, well, I may as well just go all out here because there's literally nothing else I can do. But for the rest of the battle, all it does is physical attacks, and sometimes Heaven's Cataract just doesn't do anything. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just use Berserk because that'll at least give me an attack up and haste. So yeah, this is me fighting an enemy with 400 some odd thousand health. I'll speed it up here a little bit because it's just kind of ridiculous. But while we're killing this thing, we'll talk about the next battle. So floor 100 is 2 battles in a row. The first battle is against an enemy called Paragon, which, again, if you want to just use a unit team, I would suggest fighting a whole bunch of Omega weapons. You probably, I mean, I don't have the Farplane Cup, so I don't have the Omega or Ultima weapons in my, that can fight in the Fiend, you know, like a battle stuff. So I just went to the Chocobo dungeon and ran around until I found a whole bunch of the Ultima weapons and killed them until I oversold one, and then I fought an oversold version of the Paragon enemy. And the main reason that you want to do that is because for some reason, the oversold Paragon enemy doesn't attack you for like 2 minutes. And it also uses an attack called Genesis, which will pretty much kill you a lot less. So if you want to try to fight it like you did with the Megaton guy, you know, going through all the gates, using Cackling Gun, you could ostensibly kill it before all that, but we have a different strategy that I'm going to use because you go right into the next fight. And if you're low HP on that next fight, then that boss will just murder you right off the gate. But anyway, we're just wailing on this guy. It's just a matter of time till he dies. But yeah, this guy gave me the most trouble out of all the bosses. I died the most. I had to try several different strategies before I found the one that involves the Mana Springs and Berserker. But it's a very interesting strategy of just getting rid of its attack that can hurt you and then evading everything else. But yeah, it should be dead. It should be dead after a few more rounds over here. The floors leading up to this were still relatively easy. You know, where like 60 through 80 had some of the bosses from parts of the game, but the enemies are mostly the same. There was a lot more Megaton berries appearing as obstacles to like run around and stuff. It was very scary. But floors, the Chac over here, this boss can appear as a regular battle in all of the floors after this, which is horrifying, but at least those you can run from. So it should die within a attack or two. Or 3. But yeah, it's a neat strategy. Like, it might be cheesing it a little, but honestly, if they make an enemy that can go through Ribbon and petrify your whole party, then it deserves to be cheesed. Another strategy to get ready for the next battle is to have stamina tonics ready that can double your party's HP. But yeah, we killed Unalaska again. That's not happy. And once again, there is no reward for floor 80. Very rude. So finally, finally, we got floor 100 over here. Floor 100, or I'm sorry, Cloister Infinity. I had a strategy of starting Yuna off on Lady Luck, because she has Bribe. Riku on Alchemist, because she's going to be using something really fun. And Pain on Mascot. Everybody has a Crystal Bangle, so that their HP is doubled. Pain has a Kaiser Knuckle, which gives her more attack. Riku has a Rabbite's Foot, which gives her more luck. And Yuna, I don't remember what I gave her. But yeah, Paragon Oversoul will just not attack you for a while. First thing you want to do, gamble, a bribe, at least 800,000 gil. You'll be able to bribe Paragon away. Not as fun as Zanmatoing it, but you get dark matters from bribing it. Now, normally Paragon has 200,000 health or a little bit more with the with that, but you want to get that bribe in because it just saves you an entire battle. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Believe me. If you want to fight it yourself with monsters or whatever, go look at your own strategies. I just like the fact you can bribe the first Ice Summoner's summon guy. Also, oh my god.
So, you're Trema.
Yup, he's unsent.
Please tell
210,000
us,
health as an
why did you
oversoul.
hide the spheres of Spira's past?
Humans, so hopelessly entangled with their past. I had to seal away that past in order to guide them to the future.
So, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, what happened to everyone's spheres then?
Destroyed, turned to fireflies, scattered.
How could you?
To guide the youth charged with Spira's future, I provided them with a training academy. But then came the call, and before long, I realized my error. In sin, Spira's youth had an enemy. Without it, they waved their swords at shadows, eager for a foe. Their hearts, you see, were not made of the same tempered steel as their swords. I knew what I had to do to forge their hearts anew. Erase the past. Expunge it. Nostalgia makes the heart feeble. It is the heart's nemesis. Only one who renounces everything possesses the strength to transcend anything. High Summoner Yuna, you too have forsaken much of your past. Now show me the strength that you have gained!
Alright, so we have our final fight here against Trema, the super bossiest super boss of the game with 999,999 health. What you want to do to start off, Pain, you want to move through all of the things that she gets break damage barrier. With Riku, I put one of those new dark matters to use and combined a dark matter and a potion into a hero drink that makes your party makes your party invincible for a couple of turns. Also, I want to use a stamina tonic so that everybody's HP is doubled, so that everybody has about 26,000 health, because he's going to be using Meteor a couple times. Once Pain is done, she's going to go back to Mascot. Yuna is going to spend most of her time just using either healing people or using Moogle Kirja just to keep everybody's HP up, and Riku over here is going to make everybody invincible again for a little bit. Once you survive the first couple of turns against Trema and get your HP up past 9,000, I would say, you're pretty much set as long as you keep on healing, because with Mascot you have built-in wall, so that he does a lot less damage to you. So Cackling Gun over here is going to do about 40,000 damage, because I forget that I wanted to use Nonpareil a few times to raise her attack. I'll remember that in a few turns, but 40,000 out of 1 million is still a good chunk. Let's see, I have Yuna over here using Stamina Tonics, that Riku gets up closer to everybody. The problem with Riku keeps dying is because she doesn't have wall, because she's the alchemist. I decide over here that it's better to stop using the hero drinks and just go become a mascot, just to make it so that she stops, dying. And I use a Mega Elixir to keep Pain's MP up, because I don't have the Ragnarok on her anymore. I have the Kaiser Knuckle to keep her attack up. And here I finally remember to increase her attack. And that's pretty much it. Yuna's role right now is just going to be keeping everybody's MP up and keeping everybody's HP up. And Riku is actually going to have a very important role as starting combos. We'll see that in just a moment. I'm like, do I need to do anything? Not really. See, I just set up a Kirja, set up a Cackling Gun. So what you want to do is have Riku ready to attack, and use an attack after Pain starts her animation for Cackling Gun, because that'll give chain times 1, which will more or less double the damage, or at least increase it by about 20,000. If you've increased Pain's attack a little bit more, it'll just do the max amount of 99999. And seeing as that's a 10th of Trema's health, that'll kill him really fast. Also, he's making lots of noises here. He uses Demi a lot, which actually does a decent amount of damage, just because we have a lot of HP. Dying Star also does a decent amount of damage. It's just important for you to keep healing every turn with Yuna. Using Mega Elixirs or regular Elixirs or Turbo Ethers to keep Pain's magic up. Or Mega Potions if you just want an extra little bit of healing. I think he uses Meteor 2 or 3 times. Flare, as you can see, does a decent amount of damage. Also, if we didn't use the Mana Tonic to double our HP, it would have been bad. Everybody is on the garment grid that gives you break HP limit, because otherwise that would be bad too. Also, we did 82,000 damage there, very nice. You can probably get like a chain times 2 in if you have Yuna join in the attack, but it's not worth it to take a turn away from her healing. Riku also kind of works out with choosing to attack, because it takes her a little bit to get that attack in. so it gets closer to when the damage is actually done with Pain's thing. So he's pretty close to death right now. We've done, I would say, at least 600,000 damage. Future Dovey does not have to tell us what the number is. I'm already Future Dovey. Almost had 5 sevens there. Turbo Ether. That's for Meteor. Yeah, so Meteor, even with having wall up, it'll do a ton of damage to you, so just make sure that HP is up over 9,000.
Fall prostrate before me!
No. Man, I had originally tried this fight with without doing the oversoul to Paragon, so he was destroying my party before I was finally able to bribe him. And I came in with 1 person dead and 2 people low HP with Trema, and his first attacks just comboed 1 person, comboed the next one. Just destroyed me. And also, I get a trophy there for getting 99,999 damage on someone, so yay! So he should be dead shortly now. Yeah, another 99.99. It's surprising that with this game, that he had the highest amount of health, given that Final Fantasy X had penance with 5 million. But I'm not complaining. God, imagine if they had given him more. There's a few fiends that are also super bosses, but you can only fight them in the arena, in the Farplane Cup. And I don't think I'm going to show those off. It's not worth my time to fight things that require even more strategy, that you don't get anything out of. Something with an N. 1 second. Is no? I thought it was something like that. Maybe it's not even
Be flung onto the far plane!
Yeah? Are you gonna use Meteor? Oh, Ultima, right? He uses Ultima also. Yeah, make sure your HP is up because he's gonna use it as like a dying move. Okay, not dying. Almost dying. I don't remember what monster it was that was in the, Nope, no idea. Okay. That's fine. I want to say it was something with an N. Are you dead yet? Come on, old man. How many times must we teach you this lesson? There we go. Yay, and you get the trophy, gold trophy of Founder for beating the founder of New Yevon. See, I always thought he was like the founder of Yevon, that's why he's so old, but apparently not. Apparently he's just the founder of New Yevon, but he's still really old.
You are the paragon of pastlessness.
You're wrong. Although I've wished to be stronger, and I've wanted to change, I realized that losing my past would mean losing myself.
Tell me, High Summoner Yuna, where is the loss in that?
He still thinks he's won, even though he's gone now. But we get the Iron Duke accessory, which is amazing. You get it from beating Trema's. You can farm it off of him. You can actually come back here, and I think you fight Paragon and Trema again or something, or just Paragon, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's it for Bevelle. And how'd you get so strong? Yeah, the kids are like, oh my god, you did it. But Iron Duke is amazing. You know, let me look it up before this video ends. Let me look it up real fast. Iron Duke, as we talk to you can read what they're saying, I'm not going to read it. HP plus 100, MP plus 100%, Strength plus 100, Magic 100, Defense 100, Magic Defense 100, Agility 10, Accuracy plus 100, Evasion plus 100, and Luck plus 50. Anyway, we're at 96%, which means that all we have to do is beat the game. So, next episode, we're going to do that, just that. We're going to start the end of the game. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.